Hello, I'm Claire Trasca. Today, I'll be discussing various debit orders related to assessment and their connection to values education. Let's check it out. To begin, let's look at the first order that established a formal grading system, Debit Order Number 8, Series of 2015, which is specifically tailored for the K-12 system. This order details how we were graded during our time. The breakdown includes 50% allocated to written works and quarterly assessments, while the other 50% is based on performance tasks. In terms of the non-cognitive aspects of assessment, Section 6 of this debit order assigns class advisors the responsibility of noting observable values in students, ranging from those that are consistently demonstrated to those that are rarely seen. As we move on to nationwide assessment, Debit Order Number 29, Series of 2017, unfortunately does not evaluate values education. However, the closest link can be found in the National Achievement Test, which examines life and career skills, as well as the Southeast Asia Primarily Learning Metrics that places emphasis on civics. Next up is the order implemented in line with the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, responding to the national lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This adjustment changed the grading system to consist of 40% for written works and 60% for performance tasks. In terms of non-cognitive aspects, learners were encouraged to produce online products encompassing various forms of media and analytical applications. Following that, the Matatag curriculum was rolled out, restoring the grading system back to a 50-50 split between written works, quarterly assessments, and performance tasks. This aligns with the approaches outlined in Debit Order Number 31, Series of 2020, which also considers blended learning modalities. Finally, looking back at the K-12 system, the awarding system for graduation and promotion serve as an important motivator for students to practice values, a feature that remains intact even with the Matatag system. Now, why is it important for us to know these orders? It is crucial for us to adhere to these department orders as they are based on thorough research conducted before their implementation. They also represent DepEd's commitment to fair assessment standards. And lastly, how can we apply these orders then? The document also presents methods that teachers may use, such as assessment for learning is an approach involving ongoing evaluation that helps gauge student progress, allowing teachers to adapt their methods to meet the varied needs of learners, thus supporting the curriculum's teaching strategies. Assessment as learning engages students in the assessment process, empowering them to set goals, track their process, and take ownership of their learning. And then, assessment of learning focuses on measuring how effectively students have met established standards or learning goals, such as in final assessments. These standards don't necessarily limit us as teachers. Rather, being flexible is a key component that fosters innovation and creativity in our educational practices. That's all.